First things first, I want to say that I am not a drama type of channel. I like to keep my videos silly and fun except for a few occasions where something will bug me a little too much. This topic especially, so I felt like I just had to speak on it regardless of how many people see it. Sometimes it just makes me feel better to yap about things I have on my mind. To put it shorter, you won't see these kinds of videos from me too often. I'm aware this is a controversial topic and a very heated debate, and am fully prepared to be disagreed with. However, I expect any comments made towards me be respectful and that you at least hear me out with this video before doing so. It's annoying to have to repeat things in a comment section that I already explained in full in a video, so please watch until the end before yelling at me. Thank you. Okay. With that out of the way, I will now explain what's going to happen in this video. I have different sections to go over. Here is a list of everything I'm going to explain. I don't know if I have enough subscribers to have chapters in my videos, but I will still include timestamps in the description for each section I talk about. My main focus will be about Murder Mystery 2, but most of what I say can also be applied to other games. Now, if you're not into Roblox too much or not into certain Roblox games, you might not know what this means, but the name kinda speaks for itself. Teamers are people who work together in games with roles that normally would be against each other, or they team up to help each other in general. People can team in other games/platforms as well, but I really only see it this big of an issue in the Roblox space. I personally think there's two names for this. I would like to believe if you're just ignoring each other to help one another, like not killing them or voting them off or anything, then that is an alliance. If you're both working together to gang up on individual persons, that's teaming. But everyone calls all of it teaming, so I will just say teaming for all of it too. A lot of people, again mostly in the Roblox space, think teaming is the worst crime you could ever possibly commit for some reason. It's labeled as unfair and dirty playing. To an extent, in a certain way, yes. Then why might I be making this video? Because y'all are mean. I think you can team in a way that is totally harmless, but I also am a firm believer of hearing both sides, so I'm gonna go over why people think teaming is unfair and which types actually are. People claim it's unfair to team because it gives the teamers in question an op advantage over the other players. Basically a 2v1, since you can't defend yourself as the innocent role unless you pick up the gun from the fallen sheriff. Now, I do agree with this a little depending on the context. If one of the teamers is ratting other people out, like where they're at, where they're hiding, etc., this isn't very nice, especially if in MM2 they have the gun and are trying to shoot you to help their friend win. If you get shot by the sheriff or hero and you're not the murderer doesn't get the XP from you dying. So technically this doesn't actually help out the friend and just makes it worse for everyone. I totally get being annoyed about it in this scenario. However, the way people go about it is where I take issue and what this next section will be about. What I'm about to explain here can actually also apply to camping and spam jumping as well as teamers. To put it bluntly, you do not have the right to start harassing people for playing a game in a way you don't like. I understand being in a server with people who are teaming unfairly can be super frustrating, but I'm not sure when people decided that meant they were free to start attacking the teamers and blasting them online. We are all human beings behind the screens, living, breathing people with feelings and emotions. Never has it been okay to make fun of and post the usernames of people who just wanted to help each other out. I've seen new players, little kids, older siblings or cousins introducing their younger siblings or cousins to the game and etc. get absolutely dogpiled for teaming, camping, jumping. It really irks me that the newer generations are so focused on themselves rather than others and have absolutely no regard for the feelings of the people around them. Not everyone is going to magically know the norms of a game they have hardly played or have just started playing, especially children. I think what irritates me the most about beating teamers videos is the fact that it's either two kids or just people minding their own business, who will then be labeled as toxic for acting back towards the user who came at them first. The person making the video will display their usernames for every viewer to see, call them names and target them, emote on them, and then if one of the teamers claps back and targets them back, the person making the video will act surprised and say they're being toxic, when they were literally mean to them first. Actually insane. It's okay to be annoyed. I get frustrated by people all the time, but this doesn't give you a free pass to bully people. If you really wanted to enforce fairness, you'd be the bigger person and act rationally. You can't start stuff first and then turn around and call them toxic for returning the energy. You don't know how those people's personalities actually are because you didn't offer a chance for them to show it because you treated them horribly from the get-go. I went over the unfair version, so now I'm going to explain why doing it a certain way can actually be completely harmless with comparisons to some normal in-game experiences. If you hate teamers, then seeing the murderer deliberately walk past an innocent to get to you will probably set off alarms in your mind. But I doubt it's because they have some vendetta against you and want you specifically. Unless of course you said something mean to them, they're just ignoring their friend. This is equivalent to an innocent using one of the secret spots on the map to hide from the murderer. That's why they don't get killed until later. Sometimes the friend will take the gun and sit in the corner or in a hiding spot until the murderer is finished, which is a little annoying because now all you can do is run. But sometimes when the sheriff or hero dies, the gun gets glitched and disappears, unable to be picked up. This could be similar. Some teamers like to 1v1 after killing everyone, which in my opinion is actually nice of them. You wouldn't get mad at the sheriff and Murd battling in the middle of the round, so why is it bad now that they're on each other's friends lists? I see a lot of people complaining about how teamers waste everyone's time, but if they 1v1 or just let the other win, they're actually doing you a favor by hurrying up instead of sitting around until the round ends. Some rounds in general just take longer than others anyway. If waiting the full 3 minutes is too much for you, then you might just have to find a new game to play. People aren't gonna speed up what they're doing just for you. You're not gonna believe it, but you can leave. I know this excuse/comeback whatever is super overused by teamers, but it really is true. If you don't want to wait the full 3 minutes for a round to end, server hopping takes like 10 seconds. Not only that, but the people you're upset with also magically disappear. It's always good to start out by being nice. If you ask them nicely not to and they still don't want to stop, then go. The world doesn't revolve around you and they aren't going to change because a random stranger got mad, so it's not worth your time and effort getting so worked up over it. It can get really annoying for sure, but it'll never be worth acting like a bully and making yourself more upset for no reason, especially considering even after all this drama Nikki Lease, the creator of MM2, still hasn't said anything about it because there are way bigger issues. Clout. It's all for clout. A lot of YouTubers who make videos on teamers usually never have good intentions, and it's always to tear somebody down. I'm not going to name any names, but a couple of YouTubers I see occasionally only ever post videos about teamers, and are rude in every single one. Do you not get tired of fighting and getting into drama literally all the time? And what I find sad about it is because it's montage-esque but focused solely on targeting individuals, and the people making the videos are super pro at the game. I wish it wasn't so focused on negativity because they'd probably still do so well if they just did normal montages. If you really cared about being a good person and making the game better, you wouldn't jump to attacking these players and showing off their usernames for everyone to look them up. It's all for clout, and they don't care if it's at the expense of others. I do understand some teamers start out toxic before you even say anything. I've seen instances where they are mean and use glitches and stuff before anyone even does anything to them, and in that scenario you absolutely can clap back. That's not a teamer issue, that's just people being nasty, and I'm all for putting those kinds of users in their places. One YouTuber who I will mention named Kishi has a video like this. A few teamer girls came at this person because they assumed she was editing. I don't care for Kishi because she also has blasting people type videos about teamers, and I think it's unnecessary and mean, but she was absolutely justified with this call out, and that's why I agree some teamers can absolutely be bad. But I want it to be known this is not the majority. More often than not it's just kids, new players, or people who just don't know. So that's all I have to yap about today. TL/DR, stop making negative assumptions about people and be nice to each other. You don't know who's behind the screen, and you don't get to be a bully because someone plays a game the wrong way. I used to hate teamers and fight with them on Roblox too, and it only made me miserable. Eve seen little kids get jumped by everyone in the game, and I've started arguments with people who genuinely seemed nice before I started making issues, and it was horrible for everyone involved. I know I'm too small to make any sort of difference, but I felt like speaking out since this trend of harassing people just irritates me so bad. Thank you for watching if you made it all the way here, and please remember to be respectful in the comments if you have any disagreements, or I won't be replying to you. Have a good day everyone, please stay kind.